I've been reflecting lately on how curious life is. Everyone wants to grow, experience something new, and step into a better season, yet almost no one wants to leave the routine that keeps everything exactly the same. It's like looking out the window and saying, there's a whole world out there, but still waiting on the couch, hoping that world will somehow walk through the door. This is not judgment, it is simply how we humans operate. Our brain loves the familiar, our soul loves comfort, and our heart loves safety. But purpose does not grow in comfort. Purpose requires movement. And this may be the most important truth you'll hear today. To reach places you've never been, you must do things you've never done. New life cannot come from old habits. New doors do not open with old keys. And a new destiny cannot unfold while you cling to the same patterns that always kept you stuck. This is where many people freeze. Change is uncomfortable. Stepping out of the comfort zone is frightening. Doing something for the first time shakes us inside. Deep down, you know that God has been calling you to move, but you've been trying to negotiate with Him, wanting change without changing, wanting a new life while remaining the same person, wanting new results while repeating the old behaviors. That is why life gets stuck. That is why the cycle keeps repeating. And that is why the years pass, and everything feels exactly the same. Maybe you are entering 2026 feeling exactly as you felt in 2025 or 2024. Perhaps the reason is simple. You still haven't done the things you've even never done, or persisted long enough for them to work. The truth is this: if you don't change, nothing will change. And God may have been nudging you for a while, pulling you away from places that no longer match who you are, disturbing your peace about things you once tolerated, waking you up in the night without explanation. That is not anxiety. That is spiritual movement. God saying, this season is over. One of my favorite examples is Abraham. God told him, leave your land, your family, and your father's house, and go to the place I will show you. God didn't give an address, a map, or deadlines. He only said, go, and Abraham went. To experience the new, he had to leave the old. If he had stayed, he would have died unknown. But because he moved, he became the father of nations. The difference between anonymity and destiny was a single decision. How many times has God called you to take a step, but you remained still? When things get better, I'll start. When God gives me a clearer sign, I'll obey. When the door opens, I'll walk through. But sometimes the door only opens after you reach for the handle. Some people wait for God to split the sea, while God is waiting for them to step into the water. Like Moses. Some wait for multiplication, while God waits for them to offer the little they have, like the loaves and fish. Faith without action is dead. Faith opens the door, but obedience turns the handle. Purpose always comes with a cost. Leaving old habits, saying no to certain people, confronting your excuses, choosing maturity, and facing your fears. But it's worth it. At the end of life, people don't regret what they did wrong, most regret what they never tried. The risk they never took, the love they didn't express, the dream they never pursued. So let me ask you, will you keep living on autopilot? Will you keep asking for a sign God has already given? Will you keep saying one day, while life keeps passing? If you want something new, you must act in a new way. A new habit, a new mindset, a new boundary, a new decision. The distance between the life you have and the life you want may be one single step, the step you've never taken. Often nothing changes because we continue walking the same road every day. Like someone who drives the same route for years and stops noticing anything along the way. But the moment you choose a new path, new things appear because you're in new territory. If nothing new is happening in your life, it may be because you're repeating the same patterns. And let me reveal something few people say. The new feels scary because it demands a version of you that you haven't met yet. Growth hurts. Growth requires discipline, responsibility, and confronting yourself. Most people prefer the comfort of what breaks them rather than the discomfort of transformation. But God cannot place new promises in a heart that is still behaving like a slave to old fears. Before God opened the Red Sea, He opened Moses internally, breaking insecurity, healing fear, and shaping a leader. The same process applies to you. God didn't call you to live enslaved to opinions, pain, trauma, or your past. He called you to walk in purpose. That will require saying no, respecting your limits, ending destructive cycles, building discipline, and reorganizing your spiritual and emotional life. The new isn't outside, the new is within. Life changes when the mind changes. Paths open when you walk. Heaven moves when you move. People pray for a better future but keep feeding the habits that destroy their lives. They ask for a healthy relationship but hold on to toxic people. They dream of a new career but fear learning something new. And then they ask, God, why doesn't anything change? And God answers, because you don't change. If God is confronting you, it is because He wants to lift you, but He won't change your world without changing you first. Every new level requires new courage. Courage to try, fail, try again, admit weaknesses, ask for help, grow, and press forward even when afraid. Courage is not the absence of fear. It is a decision. And now let's move to the practical side, because faith inspires, but action transforms. Here are 5 steps that can change any destiny if taken seriously. 1. Release what has already ended. God will never ask you to let go of something that still has purpose. He asks because it's blocking your growth. 2. Start today. Life changes one habit, one step, one decision at a time. Courage is born in movement. 3. Organize your mind before organizing your life. Internal chaos creates external chaos. Stop, write, pray, define priorities, seek clarity, for distance yourself from those who sabotage you. Wrong relationships are anchors. Walk away from what pulls you down. 5. Trust God but do your part. Faith opens doors, action walks through them. You move, and God aligns the path. If you don't know where to begin, start with yourself. Break the cycle of paralysis. Tomorrow is born from today's decisions. Heaven moves when you do. The new version of you is already inside, waiting to awaken when you choose to act. You were not created to repeat cycles. You were created to break them, and that begins now.